And we are on. Hey, everybody, welcome back to KCR College Radio. You're listening to the award-winning Sound of State here at San Diego State University. For those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, if you are on campus or in the San Diego area, you can tune in at AM 1610 on your radios. For everybody else, tune in at kcrlive.com where we stream worldwide 24/7. And then if you also have any Apple or Android devices, go to your app store, look up the TuneIn app, and then once you download that, you can look up KCR College Radio, listen from there. We have some great stuff on there, so definitely tune in. Also, if you want to follow us on all the social medias, we are at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, including YouTube. Just look up KCR College Radio. We are there. And if you want to call throughout the show, you can. Feel free. We have a studio phone at 619-594-6982. Again, 619-594-6982. It's also on the website too, and I can reiterate it throughout the show in case I forget. In case I forget, let me tell you how to get in contact with me. But first, my name is Tishamora, and I am your host for this evening, and this is my entertainment talk show called Tishtalk. Each week, I choose a few guests. We come on air for about the hour. We talk about a topic in entertainment. It could be anything as long as it's radio-friendly, and we have a good conversation. So if you want to contribute to the conversation, you can tweet me at KCR Tishtalk. That's KCR-TISH Talk. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, where if you go on YouTube, you can listen to my past shows, with the exception of the past two, because I haven't edited them yet, but they will be up there, including this one, hopefully within the next week. We'll see. But yeah, you can call in, tweet me. If you have my number, text me. That's fine. Yeah, today we are going to be talking about work, workplace, work in entertainment. I have some guests of mine that we all kind of will be able to talk about our experiences working, and it'll be kind of fun. So definitely, if you guys want to contribute to the conversation, let me know. It'd be a lot of fun. Also, quick side, I know for those of you who tuned in last week, something came up, unfortunately, and I had to, there were some technical difficulties, so to speak. So I'm back, and for those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, if you end up liking my show, I am on air Friday nights at 8 Pacific Standard Time. You can tune in then, so I should be back next week after the show. So, but anyways, with all that in mind, all the formalities and stuff along the way, let me introduce to you my guests. I think it, only one of my guests have been here before. We have two newcomers to KCR and I guess to San Diego State University. So without further ado, let me introduce my friends Arlene, Isaiah, and Andres. Say hi, guys.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Aloha.
Hello. Okay, so usually what I have my guests do, obviously introduce yourself, give a little bit of background. What are you guys up to? You go to school? What school do you go to? What degree? Whatever. And I guess how we all know each other. So, Arlene, since you've been here before, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Arlene. I know everyone here because of work.
What a segue.
I know, it's wonderful. We're talking about work, so we need to talk about how we met at work. Okay, this is the thing.
Is that how we're doing it? We can do that too, yeah.
I mean, this is your show. You're in charge.
Okay, well, let's introduce each other first, and then we'll get into, I guess, meeting each other, since we, as you can maybe tell, we are all coworkers. So
Yes.
that's, yeah. Okay, so we'll get into that.
That is news to me, to be honest.
Really?
Jeez.
I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Yikes. Okay. Who wants to go next?
Hey, y'all. My name is
Good
Andres.
morning.
As Tisha mentioned before, this is my first time. Long time
Oh
coming,
yeah, no,
actually.
don't worry. We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
We're gonna walk.
From my understanding, there's been multiple seasons, right? This is
This quote unquote second season.
Oh.
Well,
Big fan.
technically third. I did do summer shows.
Yeah.
And they are up there.
So
this
this
technically
is
third, I guess.
third season. Again, been a long time coming, but I'm here. I made it. So yeah. I guess first and foremost, this is my first time back at state since my last year, which was 2014, and just being here is just amazing. Like everything that was built, like the student union, like that was really really cool to see.
Oh, you've
like all
been
the-
here in a while, huh?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been 3 years since I've last stepped foot in this campus.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it really has. But thank you, Tisha, for having me.
You're welcome. Don't worry, we'll talk about it.
Nice.
And then our last guest.
Good evening. My name is Isaiah. Like everybody else, I met everybody at work. But yeah, this is my first time here at San Diego State University campus, as well as the first time being on air of any kind. I find it particularly nerve-wracking. But
That's what everybody says.
it's enjoyable though because I definitely I feel myself. I know I'm going to have fun doing
Yeah.
this.
Oh yeah. We'll have fun. But
Yeet.
to talk about really quick before we get into the topic, I just want to put Andres on blast real quick because you already know he's nodding his head and everything. I think I don't know how many times I asked him, Arlene.
It's like, I want to say as many times I've been on the show, you wanted him on the show as well.
Well, yeah, because I wanted all of us to collectively have fun together, but no, every time you either working or you just did not want to hang, and I'm like, that's cool, no worries, no worries. It's
Why are you singling me out and all this?
because Isaiah was not here during this time, so he gets a pass. Arlene has been on my show before.
So,
You're the only one who has not been able to make yourself available. For those of you listening, I have air quotes going on right now.
I feel victimized and attacked.
I told you I would.
you were warned about this.
I am starting to regret coming on here, guys.
I'm on your side, Andres.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, also, I think, you know what? I don't know if I want to do it now or later, but I do want to take a poll and see, is Ryan Gosling actually talented or just tall? Let me know. Tweet at me at KCR Tishtalk. I'm not going to, oh no, his mic's not working.
Okay, can I just say that if you're gonna throw out that topic, at least like give everyone like a fair warning. But okay, guys. Like,
Fair
we're gonna
warning,
talk-
he's not
like,
talented.
I mean,
There's your warning.
you obviously know my feeling towards that statement, but I'm just saying you can't just start throwing them like shit. You can't start throwing shit at Gosling like right off the bat. Like,
But
you
I
gotta-
do.
I mean, all right. Well, I'm pretty sure you eventually will get to that topic. If not today, then maybe some other day. And when that time comes, I will be ready to defend my mains. When that time comes.
When that time comes. I mean, your moment is now, honestly.
Well, I mean.
Oh no, his mic's turned off.
Okay, so am I actually going now?
I mean, if you okay, wait, really quick for those of you who are listening, tweet at me. Do you think Ryan Gosling is talented or just tall?
Okay.
Let me know.
So,
At KCR Tishtalk.
okay, so everyone listening, right? Here's the thing. So
Well,
at work, we have this thing going on.
Ongoing
where,
debate.
Yeah, where
It's like a year was
where we start
ongoing debate.
where I forget the origins of it, but essentially
I remember.
everyone like and I'm sure Tisha will actually Tisha, please feel free to describe the origins of that. Like
the of our argument.
yeah, or debate. Yeah.
Basically, it was basically around the time where the Oscars were going on, and I forgot why we started talking about it. Oh no. Okay, so at work where we work, at one point we can choose the songs that they send to cities, whatever, and one of them was. Oh, why can't I remember the name? Why can't I remember
You
the
know
name?
it. You know it.
No, I really don't. I'm blanking out right now. What's the... Oh, La La Land. Thank you. You could have just said it. I don't care. So we have the soundtrack for La La Land at work, and we also have like the background music. Background music is great. I love it. And even the soundtrack. The movie was fun. I have no problems with the movie. My problem, though, was that I did not believe that Ryan Gosling deserved the best like the Grammy for best music for that year when it had so many other competitors, including Moana by like Lin-Manuel Miranda. Did not think it was deserved at all, especially because Ryan Gosling is not even a singer. Was he that good? No. Is he just tall? Probably.
That
So
was
yeah,
a lot-
that's what happened.
That was a lot of emotion, like and
I can tell that
I'm
you're
fine.
trying to contain yourself.
Here's the thing, right? In terms of that category, like in terms of that category, no, I'm serious. Like in terms of the category that was in, it was best song, right? Best original song.
Yes. It's not that great.
Are we judging it based off like the song itself, or like what the song contributes to the overall film?
Well, okay.
'Cause
I
see,
wouldn't have minded if the writer for the song went up. He went up. And they gave it to him, Ryan Gosling, because he sang it. But then Lin-Manuel Miranda did not sing the song. You know what I'm saying? That was Ali'i. So, but, you know, obviously he was... So if it was the writer, that's fine. But the fact that he was nominated for it, it's like, dude, he's not even a singer. Also, he's not that talented.
I mean, he has an Oscar to show for it. I think that's
Yeah,
that
the
speaks for itself.
undeserved Oscar. Let me know what you guys think. Tweet at me.
No.
Is Andres wrong?
No, see,
Probably.
But see, okay, like, so that was okay. So that was the origins, right?
That was the
that
origins.
was where it all started. But then from that point, it kind of went beyond that to the terms where now we're comparing him against other actors and how he stands up against those. And my thing was that I think he's probably one of the top 5 talented actors right now, and I have multiple criteria for that.
He's been preparing for this argument for a long
Oh no,
time,
trust,
folks.
trust,
I really-
trust.
yeah. Like,
Me
and,
too.
And again, for anyone listening, right? This has been going on for at least almost a year now.
Almost a year.
Where I've been teased out of work. I've been constantly.
I've witnessed this on
Yeah.
multiple occasions.
Yeah, I've been teased about this. But I'm
Sidebar. It's all out of love. First of all,
Sometimes
No,
I don't,
no.
I had to bust you guys up one time. I remember this.
what were we doing?
No, it was fairly recently. Like you guys were arguing about something, and
We're always arguing.
no, not arguing. Okay, well, using strongly worded language with each other.
So I mean,
It's out of love.
so I know today's topic was about work, right? And I don't want to stray too far from that for too long, right?
I mean, this is
do
work
want to.
related considering.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. But no, seriously, like if you look at the overall ratings of movies that he's been in, how they've been reviewed by not just critics but also fans, he's up there. Like he hasn't really been in any bad movies. To think of it, well, not because okay, Tisha, you're making a face. What do you think, right? Like what stands out as far
For
as
me, that's the thing. For me, I only think there's so few movies he's been in that he actually stands out in. I mean,
Literally,
yes,
the
he
only
is going
movie
to-
I remember is Deadpool, so I'm kind of.
no, that
pretty
is a
bad.
fair point.
Hashtag Ryan Reynolds.
Ooh, you mean Ryan Reynolds, right?
There you
go.
I mean, that is a fair
Yikes.
point. That is
Oh,
a fair
I'm
point
terrible.
because I mean, as much as I've been following him, like if I say, "Hey, have you seen Drive?" I'm pretty sure not everyone has seen the movie, right? Or if I say, "Have you seen Lars and the Real Girl?" You mentioned
What?
You mentioned that.
Wait, what was that one that you?
Lars and the Real Girl.
I don't see.
Yeah. But
Nobody knows.
if I say Notebook, right? Everyone knows. Oh yeah, Notebook.
But
I've seen
yeah,
that one.
that's the solidly
and-
the only one that people
and-
genuinely were like, "That's right, it's
No,
that dude."
and here's my point. Right? Like, yeah, he hasn't been in that many, I guess, noteworthy films. Which, again, fair point. I'm like, I'll give you that one.
Did you see the thing
But-
I sent you on Twitter, by the way?
Harrison
No,
Ford?
probably yeah. That Harrison Ford accidentally punched him.
Here's my point. Here's the thing, right?
I'm
So
like,
yes,
Harrison Ford's a gem.
so yes, he hasn't been in that many, like I guess, noteworthy or big blockbuster films. You want to call it? I'll give you that point. I will. I'll concede that. But
But then,
But we're
would you
talking about-
measure it in terms of like, since he hasn't been, could you like validly say that not in just in your opinion, just in general, that he is one of the most talented people? We're gonna move away from this topic because I know we're boring everyone else.
yeah, okay. I'll close by saying this, right? I'll close by saying this. You look at the past 3 films that have been massively marketed,
that he's been in.
relatively speaking. Blade Runner, La La Land, and Big Short. Look at all the ratings, look at the reviews, and you'll see like why I defend Ryan Gosling so much.
Okay, but that's like 3 movies out of how many?
No, I know, and exactly as I'm saying. Like those, I mean, as far as the earliest career, those 3 kind of stand out, right?
As of late.
Yeah, and exactly is my point. Like I'll concede that he hasn't really been in that many blockbuster films compared to say Leonardo DiCaprio or another actor you want to choose. But
Who were we comparing it to last time? I know I said Leo last time.
we had different criteria. We said I think at one point
And
Christian
even
Bale.
Harrison
I think
Ford.
Christian Bale was in that. We started comparing him at one point too.
Did we?
But anyway, again, just to
We're
wrap,
gonna move away
just
from
to
this.
wrap,
We're gonna wrap it up right
just to
now.
wrap up.
I love the
Blade
passion
Runner.
behind it.
Yeah, just to wrap up.
The trust, dude. This has been going on for a year.
So just to wrap up, right? Blade Runner, La La Land, Big Short. Just watch those films and you see what I mean.
Meh.
Thank you. Okay. I love you, Address. Just know that. Everybody listening. I don't want
Ryan Gosling, if you're listening, I love you.
Let me just say, I have literal evidence of how much this boy is a fanboy of you, Mr. Ryan Gosling. There are screen caps. There are photoshops.
Mr. Gosling, if I may call you that, I am professing my love to you on live air. I'm not sure how much more you can get than that.
Hey, tweet at me. If you want me to tweet it at him, I will.
Let's all just tweet
Ryan
Ryan Gosling
Gosling.
right now.
I don't want to. Okay, so we actually do have a question already. Well, see, I'm wondering. We talked about where we work, right?
Yeah. I believe so.
No, Arlene.
Oh.
Yeah. Isaiah's like, did we? I don't remember. No, well, so basically, all 3 of us work. We work at a bookstore. We work at Barnes and Noble. Everything we say is not represented by them. So, but we work
not.
there. We're great. I think. Well, I guess the first thing is like, what are our roles there? Andres and I are booksellers. Arlene's cash, and the only cafe person here.
I'm book floor too.
Well, actually,
What?
yeah, Isaiah's.
dude.
Baby, you are?
I'm working both.
What's up? No way.
Yeah.
Where are you working now?
They haven't specified. I'm still receiving training. I'm still receiving training, kind of.
Oh, okay, no, but I mean, like, I was
Unorthodox
gonna be
training.
really mad if you said I've been in receiving. I'm like, dude, I've been asking to be in receiving for so long,
Nick.
and also cafe. I've asked for to be in cafe. So I guess to kick it off, before we get into that, because I was going to launch into a story, I have a question from Sandra Says, and she says, "What was your first job, and was the paycheck worth it?" So
Is that a question for everyone?
for everybody, that's for everybody.
Okay, well, I guess I'll start off. I worked at Sony, the Sony retail store over in Fashion Valley. It's no longer there, but when it was still there, it was pretty much just like a, how should I put it?
Kind of like a Radio Shack store.
Kind of, where it was like more or less like a flagship store, where basically all we had was just like the latest products there, and then basically our role was just to kind of like demo some of the product, be there for any questions people might have about it, and yeah, pretty much as a salesperson for Sony.
So customer service.
Sounds pretty chill.
Essentially, yeah,
actually.
like it was customer service / like sales, if you want to put it that way, because I did have like a quota to meet and all that stuff.
But that's easy. You're selling such a widely needed product. Like,
You would think, but
Oh.
one of the troubles at a flagship store is that like all you have are like the high end stuff. So if someone comes in a budget, right? Let's say because all we
yeah.
had were like $1,000 TVs and up.
Mhm.
If someone comes in saying, "Hey, I have like $300 for a TV, like can you help me out?" Sorry, man, can't help you out. All we have are like the very very flagship models. Like nothing we have we have no mid range or no like
So kind of
entry
like
level.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like so kind of like
Yeah.
Best Buy but like high end Best Buy.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But with that being said, to answer the later part of the question, yes, it was worth it. As far as the pay, it was really, really nice. Yeah, there are times where I wanted to rip my hair out. Because, I mean, I think that's the case with all retail. That you hit
Yeah.
a wall at a certain point. But just based on the fact that that was my first job and I pretty much learned everything about working and all that stuff there, it was definitely worth it, at least in my opinion.
Okay. Is he?
well then, my first job opportunity wasn't necessarily an orthodox one.
Was it legal?
Yeah, of course it was. No, it was a legal business.
Usually, whenever they say that,
No,
it's not legal.
me and my brother decided to start a food truck in Hawaii, and that was my first job.
Dude, that's what's
No.
what kind of
It
food you
was
make?
Mexican food, tacos al calle.
Ooh.
So
In Hawaii, of all places?
yes, sir.
Man.
Ooh,
We
that
had to
made
give
me-
them we had to give them an idea of what real Mexican food was.
Yeah.
Rather,
All right.
they really thought that like Taco Bell was like setting the bar, and I was like, nah, dude.
I mean, the same could be said for people who think L&L is real Hawaiian food.
Oh, most definitely, yeah,
Yeah.
because it's the farthest thing from. Oh,
I mean, L&L's good.
they have the concept. They
yeah.
have the concept.
Yeah.
But yes, it was a very interesting opportunity. Helped me mature as an individual and as well as a from a sales point of view, like from a business point of view.
Yeah,
It
like
made
starting
me,
up.
Oh yeah, and it made me realize like all you really need to do is have the tenacity to stay with something for that long. Like, I mean, me and my brother's granted he's way older than me, but like he is a human being just like we are. Like
Yeah.
we all have the capabilities and as long as you have the yearning to want to learn or to not stop at least. Sorry, I could go on to a tangent for that for a while.
No,
But
you got the airtime.
for my first time, I think I'm trying to control myself. But yes, that was my first job opportunity, and really appreciate it. And
Aw.
I love you, Mom, for giving me that opportunity.
Shout out to mom.
Shout outs to Mama.
That's awesome. Arlene.
Well, my first job was at Sports Authority. It's no longer a thing anymore.
Is it really just like as a business gone
No,
completely?
it's completely gone.
Oh, I
Like
didn't know
there's
that.
no more Sports Authority left. Since I'm not really of a sporty person, it was just okay working there. Like the people I worked with most of them were pretty good. Paycheck wise, I mean, like it paid my bills. That's all I can say. That's all I can say about the experience, basically.
That's fair. That's fair.
Again, I think you make that argument with, like in your retail job, right? Like
Yeah.
regardless of like what industry or field it may be in. At the end of the day,
Like
it's
starting level?
yeah. At the end of the day, it's like still retail, right? Like you're doing customer service, like that type of thing.
Mm.
So, again, we're all gonna hit our wall at some point.
Yeah. And there's actually another question that we'll talk about too. But to give my answer, well, I'd say like my first job is kind of, I mean, low key worth it. Low key worth it. I'm like tied to it for like 6 years. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, I'm enlisted. I won't go into details, but basically, military, and I'd say it's worth it. I went right out of high school. I was the youngest, well, one of the youngest actually. I enlisted at 17, so my parents literally had to sign me away to the military. Definitely matured me, opened my eyes to realizing that maturity can hit you at any age. and it can also not hit you at any age.
Almost that.
So, but yeah, I have stories that I can tell that there's things that I wouldn't have dreamed of doing as like someone right out of high school. But as in terms of a civilian job, I used to work at a cafe. I used to work at a Nestle Toll House.
Oh.
Yeah, which is why I always think it's really funny. I've never been trained in cafe at work because my prior job too, working at Barnes and Noble, was making drinks for everybody and stuff like that, and knowing how to make boba. And
Was it the one directly?
Yeah,
Wow.
literally,
I
yeah.
wanted to apply there first before going to Barnes.
well,
but,
here you are.
well, I read the reviews.
Oh.
Oh,
Yes,
I was
there's-
only there for a summer. So. Just kidding. No, they're all lovely people. They're all amazing, lovely people. But yeah, I had fun. It was definitely a good entry level for me working in terms of civilian, because military and civilian jobs are obviously completely different. But I'm trying to think. I mean, like, did you guys like your first jobs?
Oh, yes.
Well, yeah.
Most definitely.
I think it's like, yes.
Yes.
Arlene's kind of like,
Yeah, I like the people I work with.
that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at like your first job, right? Like it's such a surreal experience because like on one hand, like it is your first more often than not opportunity to handle responsibilities outside of school. And it's such like a big culture shock to people. Like they can't handle that responsibility. They learn a lot about themselves. Like how do they handle adversity and stuff like that. But for me, like I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time. Again, like there are times where I just want to smash my head against the table. But from what I learned, right, I learned how to be responsible. I learned how to be on time, be prompt. Customer service is a big one. Even at work now, customer service is a huge aspect
Oh yeah,
of our job.
no matter where you're at in the
Yeah.
store.
And learning those skills at Sony was definitely appreciated, right? I learned a lot. My time over there, I think I was there for like a year and a half,
Mhm.
roughly. It was definitely invaluable. Like I learned so much from there. I learned about myself too.
That's
Again, because
good.
there have been times where I hit the ground where, again, because it was a sales environment,
Mhm.
you had like goals to meet, and if you didn't meet goals, like you were put at the bottom of the list where everyone can see you.
That's
And
fair.
I've been at that list more than a handful of times, and seeing your name out
Same.
there, seeing your name on there isn't really the greatest of feelings. So
Yeah.
at that point, you're kind of like, okay, what do I do? Do I just kind of throw in the towel and just give up, or do I go above and beyond? Do I do what makes me feel uncomfortable to succeed? And that's what I did. I as someone that's a little socially anxious, approaching people is not really my strongest suit, but you had to, and
Job's a job.
exactly. And yeah, like I definitely ended my tenure there on a strong note. And again, like even outside of work, right? Just learning how to talk to people in general, it's definitely a good thing to have.
Mhm.
You can't really put a value on that.
Yeah.
Because you have to, whether it's networking or whether it's just meeting new friends, you have to have strong communication skills.
Yeah.
And I feel like without having that job, without being a salesperson, I probably wouldn't be as strong as I am today, or as strong as I am.
Mm-hmm. And we'll get into more of that really quick. I'm going to take a quick ad read break from that, and we'll get back into it. So before I do that, make sure to tweet at me any questions that you want for us, the panel here, to answer about work. And if you want to call in, studio phone 619-594-6982.
Or Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, sir. But anyways, aside from that, just in case y'all didn't know, the best place to see your favorite artist perform here in San Diego is the unique venue of the House of Blues. It's small enough for where, everywhere is close to your dream band, and still large enough to make it a party, basically. So we can all take out the coworkers and be like, let's go party at House of Blues.
Let's go
And they
party,
have
party.
an awesome set list. It's set list of bands that basically go through there. So if you guys want to see that, just check out this month's lineup at more at houseblues.com. And then even though I know some of us ate here already, not being salty, I am being salty because I'm hungry. And I could use a burger and a brew.
You throwing shade?
I am throwing
I
shade
haven't eaten
through my
yet.
ad read. But yeah, if you guys are hungry and you guys are tuning in and you guys want to go on the go, you need a burger and a brew. Gourmet burgers, appetizers, craft brews, and cocktails are waiting for you at the new Eureka restaurant at South Campus Plaza here at San Diego State University. Shout out to the management team who's probably there eating without me. Love you guys. It's open every night until midnight, and it's a great way to begin or end the night. Also, they have yoga there in the morning, which I think is pretty rad.
Huh.
For like a restaurant
Yeah,
place,
yeah,
they
yeah.
have yoga, and the outside place is amazing. They You can bring your dogs in there and sit, and there's like a big fire pit. There's like those Jenga blocks and everything. It's really cool.
I need to do this.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Next time you guys are out.
You had me at dogs.
At dogs. They're not always there, but
Well,
dogs are they're
I
dog
can bring
friendly.
my dogs.
That's true.
you
Your
go.
dogs are adorable.
There you go.
Thank
But
you
yeah.
very much.
Yes, that's the end of my ad read. But basically, check out House of Blues, houseofblues.com. Check out Eureka if y'all live on campus. It's there, or even just Eureka as an establishment. It's a really good place. But that's the first time I've ever seen a Eureka. But yeah. Anyways, what were we talking about? We were talking about work. Okay, so I think one of the questions I wanted to ask you guys, I mentioned that my first quote unquote job, I was 17 at the time. When was the first time you guys worked? Like, what age were you when you guys first started working? Anyone?
Me and my brother started. I was 17,
17.
and he was 30 at the time.
Okay.
Yes,
Small difference there.
Just a little bit.
Just a
just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I was 18 and 1 week old. So like right when I turned 18, I applied and I got it. Which I mean, funny enough, like I
1 week old.
yeah,
Exactly.
You don't have to be
I
okay.
had to emphasize the 1 week. I had to emphasize that. I had to. Yeah, funny enough, I applied at that time because I needed money for books because books are expensive.
Woo.
And yeah, exactly. And yeah, I got the job like surprisingly, to be honest, because I was going up against salespeople as an 18-year-old, going up against like 25, 26-year-olds that already have experience.
Oh,
And I got it.
But you're a tech nerd, though. I feel like you'd probably be able to be like, I'm savvy in it.
That was part of why
Yeah.
he said, because I mentioned that I had a lot of like Sony music equipment, and so I kind of knew my way around it a little bit. Yeah, and so that's kind of where I was placed in the beginning, was like in the stereo department.
That's fair. Arlene?
I was 18 when I started working.
How many weeks?
Stop. This isn't,
5.
this isn't like a pregnancy. How many weeks are ahead of you? That's not how it works. Okay. We do have a question. Also, shout out to the Slack over at We Stay Lit podcast. I have a lot of friends on there, and they like to tune in. And we actually get international listeners. We got a listener from Aussie. It's at a Bang Pinoy. It's Josh. His question is, do you think everyone should experience working in retail or the service hospitality? My answer, I want to say it's a good experience, but I don't think everybody will excel in it.
I mean,
Yeah.
it definitely tests your limits and your patience. Like I think even the most patient people will eventually get tested at a certain point. I mean, we have coworkers that went to
Come and go.
Barnes and they're excited to be there, but within a matter of months, it's not so much like the industry, but it's just like the customers, right? Like, because at the end of the day, like
It takes a
working
toll on
retail-
you.
Yeah, it really does. But with that being said, it depends. It depends on like how old you are and what your situation is. Because if it's like for a first time job, then yes, go for it. Because I think again, more often than not, it's like the only thing available, right? But second, I think just the lessons you'll learn more about yourself than more so just like the industry. I think it really goes a long way. And I think that you'll get those lessons down quicker in that setting than anywhere else. I think.
Arlene?
I think people should work retail or like customer service at least once in their life.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
'Cause
fair.
just to see how we feel on the other side. Because some people that don't never work customer service, they'll like look at you as like, why aren't you doing your job?
I guess my follow-up question, because I think, actually all three of us, I think Isaiah and I are the only one who's done both retail and food.
Yes.
Yes.
I was gonna ask, does that pertain to food as well? But
No, I mean, I would say yes. Like, experience. I guess that's the extension of, what did he say? Service/hospitality.
Yeah.
Yeah, so food would be involved in that.
And I when it comes to being as Barnes and Nobles is my first retail job, I'm experiencing what both of you have said. Both Arlene and Andres have said, and I definitely do feel myself like learning as an individual. I mean, I would want to think that I know how to talk to a lot of people, but being on the book floor and as well as in the cafe, it really made a difference. And
There's a stark difference. It's two different worlds.
almost definitely,
Yeah.
Even in
Even
the,
in the
matter
same
of feet
store.
that yes, and but when it comes to food service, my brother shared a very interesting philosophy with me, and it really embedded the the wanting to treat somebody better than what they expect. And that philosophy was the fact that when it's regarding food, people tend to think of it as such a simple act, like I'm flipping a burger, or I'm making a taco for you, and you can take a step deeper into that and think, well, what me and my brother did was just think of it like I'm putting all of this effort into something that gives you sustenance. I'm feeding you. I'm helping you continue your life. And of course, that's a debatable. That's debatable. Yes.
That's for another episode.
Yeah, that's for another episode. But when I'm giving you that carnitas taco, like I'm not just giving you a taco from Taco Chino. I'm giving you a taco from Isaiah, from my brother, from my family.
Yeah,
like, what has
it's coming
been
from
passed
you,
down.
not
Yes,
just a brand.
exactly. Yes, and I guess that it's a particular instance because it's a small independent business rather than like a conglomerate like Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, I will say
even-
though, I will finish your thought, and I will.
But it's just like taking ownership in the interaction that you have with the customer, you know?
Yeah.
And I want to say specifically, well, just, I don't know if it's a skew opinion on that, but food taught me that, not retail.
That's fine, which is fine. Yeah, that's definitely, I can see the
Because
interaction.
it's a lot more of an romantic like interaction. that
I
you
guess
have.
so. I want to say I had the opposite effect, actually. I learned that a little bit more in retail working at Barnes than I did making boba for people. But it was also because I love books. I'm a bookworm. I read books. I buy too much at work, not as much as some other people. I'm calling you out, Carly. I love you. But, I love books. And one of the parts I love about working at Barnes is that I get put in the kids section a lot. It's not because I look like a kid. It's more because I do well in that section. I used to read a lot as a kid. And we have a lot of books that I grew up in there. And so what I love is seeing customers come in, parents and kids are just like, I don't want to read. I don't know what to get my kid. So it's easy for me to be like, what do they like? What are the things that interest them? What do you think is interesting? Because at this point, we have books that range from like mythology all the way to like Minecraft. There's stuff that will interest any kid. You just have to look for the book. And I think for me, there's like that romanticism I find in books though. Because you can get somebody on this adventure like no other and all of a sudden be like launched into reading and be like, wow, this is amazing. This is like a little mini TV in my head. This is like, it opens up their imagination. And so for me, that happened to me when I was very, very young. So I find the romanticism in that I found in retail working at Barnes because I love books and I love being able to set people on that path of maybe thinking reading's not all that bad. Reading's great, you guys. Go read a book.
It is great. Go read a book.
Go read a
Yes.
book. Arlene, did you answer the question? Did you want to answer the question? Do you have like a preference? And no, I guess it's like
Well, no, because me, myself, and Arlene are like the only ones that have been strictly retail. Like
Yeah.
we can't really speak to like the food side of things. But I kind of agree with Isaiah, where it's like it's a lot more intimate. I think I side with Isaiah on this because I mean, like if you think about it, like
I think you
feeding-
had a lot more intimate experience than I can say I did at Nestle.
But see, that's another thing I was saying. It's an isolated incident because it's a small. Like I had to.
That was
Yeah.
your business, though.
Yeah,
like
like-
literally your business.
My literal blood, sweat,
Yeah,
and tears. went
exactly,
into that.
exactly.
And then like, but then also for Barnes and Nobles, like I still find myself like going out of or wanting to go out of my way to make sure that the customer gets the absolute same thing that they're either looking for and then some, or their coffee with a little bit of extra love and care going into it. Like
Yeah.
even just telling them that, telling them to have.
But I also feel like that's you.
I don't know. I can't.
Agree or disagree? Is that just Isaiah too?
what?
Just like that personality, just wanting to take care of people.
Well,
Isaiah is a wonderful person.
like that. Like no, like
I disagree with
gassing
this.
you up, dude.
I disagree with this wholeheartedly.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, again, like, if you think about it, right? I mean,
No. Okay.
Okay. We'll move past it. I won't put you on the spot.
Thank
But
you.
personally, I think that's also just, I think the way people act in both retail, food, whatever your job is, obviously like your personality and who you are as a person is going to affect that. I will say, however, I have heard every single person's customer service voice in this room. I have one. Y'all have one. Everybody, there's a difference. There's a distinct
Yes, there is.
difference
there is.
of me talking like this, whereas, hi, ma'am, how may I help you today? Would you like a bag? Can I interest you in a membership? So, so there is a big difference. I know I've caught one of our other coworkers, Ursula,
Ursula's
doing
is
that
pretty
one.
distinct.
Yeah,
though.
it's distinct, and I love her for it because I think she called me out one time. She wasn't even at Barnes; she was working at her other job at Chick-fil-A, and I rolled up in my in my car. I'm like, "Hi, ma'am. How can I'd like to order?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, how can I?" "Oh God, it's you!" Like, immediately, and I'm like, "Love me, please give me my food." But that's what I love. That's what I love about well, anyways, but yeah, like I want to say that like the person you are is definitely going to be affected by work regardless, and I think people should experience that.
That was the original question.
That was the
yeah?
original.
Yes,
that was my
it.
tie-in.
Okay,
He
nice,
got me.
Nice.
But to kind of see, I
I definitely say they should though.
Yeah,
Like you have to dabble in it.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
way
You need
around
to.
it.
there's especially I want to say because I know people who have degrees, and I understand that like once you graduate, it's hard, and it's like you want to get into what your industry like the 4 years or however many years you put into your degree, your doctorates, whatever, you want to go into that. And it's not always the case. You have to start from the ground up.
Yeah.
And that's what I strongly believe. So I think people need to really genuinely get there. Like I know I feel like working throughout college has helped me build up that experience. I know, again, it's a resume builder, you know? So I think it's definitely, yeah. So is that a sounding yes? Everyone should at least work a
Yes.
job.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like-
I believe his
Job.
name was Josh. Yes.
yes, it's Josh.
Josh, you should definitely.
Oh,
Well,
no.
no,
We're not calling Josh
okay.
out.
All right, I'm not calling. Josh
He's gonna message me and be like, "Hey."
That was a very interesting.
Not
question.
calling you out, Josh. But thank you for your question. Obviously, if you guys have any more questions, send them to me. We still have a little bit of time, so we will definitely get to them. There are some other questions that were pertaining to our previous. I don't want to get into it.
With the Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
No.
I don't
we have
want
to.
to.
We
I
don't have
want
enough time
to.
for that.
That's a whole other episode on its own.
Unless
Okay.
there's like one question that's burning, like that's just needs to be.
I think you can make the argument for like every question she gets on that.
No, I
Like,
don't want
'cause,
to.
I mean, from where
I
I'm
don't
sitting,
want to.
she's turning slightly red.
Because it's gonna take forever for us to get through it. It's gonna eat up the rest of the time we have.
All right,
we
fair
have like maybe a little bit more than 15 minutes left on the show.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
we're not gonna talk
But
about it for an hour.
but just know where I stand on this, guys. You guys know where I stand. On this.
You know where I stand on it.
Yeah.
All right. We have talked about before. Even though Isaiah, you're still kind of like relatively new to Barnes. I want to say, ooh, I'm the most senior because you came after me, Andres.
Yeah, I think you have like I think you were May-ish.
No,
right?
no. Ursula was May. I came in. I want to say around July.
July.
You came in around like August, right?
September.
Yeah. And then Arlene and then Isaiah. I want to say we've talked about it multiple times, and I always hear it. It's always from different people. It doesn't matter how long they've been there or how recently they've been there. But everyone's always like, dude, you know like how cool it would be if our store had like a TV show. Like, you know how there's The Office, but
Yeah.
for the bookstore?
Good golly.
Like,
That would
how
be hilarious.
interesting would that be? So my question to you guys, even though I feel like I know the answer for us, because someone has told me it before, have we all seen The Office?
Yeah.
Yes.
At least like one episode or two or one? Okay, same. I've only seen a few episodes, but I know some of the characters. Who would you say, what character would you define as in the store? What Office character would you be?
The guy who
work.
drops the chili.
Oh, Kevin.
Yes. I feel like I match his goofiness.
I'm gonna say Daryl for me.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm gonna say Daryl.
Honestly, have no idea.
You have no idea.
I watched maybe one episode.
Yeah.
She's definitely a Pam.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
like Pam.
yeah,
Pam's
definitely
very
Pam.
fitting.
I
Yeah.
could see that as well.
Yeah.
Ursula told me
I
I'm
guess
Dwight.
I'm Patton.
You were Pam.
Ursula told me I'm Dwight.
That.
Really?
I did.
Oh, no.
What do you guys think I'd be? Tweet at me.
You
What
would
kind of
be
office
Dwight.
character would I be? I would be Dwight.
No, you definitely.
Oh, I
don't-
wouldn't be
don't
Dwight?
see you
No,
as Dwight.
I'd say Jim. Only because you pull a lot of pranks, especially on me.
On you.
Yeah,
That's just you.
That's more than enough for me.
It's only.
That's more than enough for me to
That's
make my
just you.
decision.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll take Jim.
Yeah,
I'll
I'd say
de-
Jim.
But I want to hear what everyone else thinks now. It's interesting because Ursula said I was Dwight.
Dwight. I want to hear her rationale behind that. 'Cause I mean, like, because if you
I
think
mean,
about Dwight,
she
right?
says that I'm just like screaming in memes, which is pretty accurate. And
But I mean,
to a degree,
Dwight.
so.
I mean, Dwight doesn't really use technology that much, so you can't really say the same about you.
he's funny.
Nah, I still say Jim.
I'll take Jim though.
I say
I'll
Jim.
definitely
I say
take Jim. Actually, I really like that. But from what you guys have heard, tweet at us. Let me know who we would be. Actually, that's a nice. Well, yeah, you said Jim. I'd take Jim.
Yeah.
But well, Isaiah had made a face like you.
No, I'm just making faces.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say something. I guess I don't know. Let me know what characters we would all be in the office. Would I be Jim? Genuinely, I'd be okay with that.
I think the closest character I've seen that portrays myself is definitely Tom from Parks and Rec.
Which one's Tom?
Tom is the.
Aziz Ansari, dude.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
That's another good one. What would you be in Parks and Rec?
Tom, for sure.
Ooh, I don't know who I'd
I'm
be
bad
in
with the
Parks.
names in that one.
You'd
Every
be
time.
Andy.
Which one's Andy again? No.
It's
No.
No, you don't think you'd be Andy? Do we have an Andy in our store?
Wait, no, Andy's
Andy's-
the goofy guy.
Yeah.
No, but he's like an extra level of just.
I love
I mean, he is Star Lord.
Empty-headed.
He is
Yeah.
Star Lord, so
It's Chris Pratt.
That is
He's
Chris
like,
Pratt.
yeah.
That's one name that yes.
I feel like you'd be. I don't remember her character's name, but you'd be Aubrey. Aubrey. What's her last name?
Leslie, nope.
No.
Nope.
Oh, we're talking about like the actual character, Amy Poehler.
Not Amy Poehler. No.
Oh, Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza. There you go. You'd be
Oh,
Aubrey Plaza's
April.
character.
April.
You'd be April. You'd definitely be April. Either that or Ursula would be April. You'd both be April.
Okay. Just like I've hardly seen that show ever. I'm sorry.
It's fun.
All right,
if you watch it, I
that was
think.
a little tangent, but I just want to throw it out there that like Tom is like my spirit animal at this point. Just want to
Do
throw
you
it out there.
treat yourself?
I do.
I use that to upsell at the cafe so often.
Hey, you know what? You want that cookie? Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. It works.
And you know what? You're not wrong. But yeah, I want to say we would make a pretty good TV show.
Most definitely.
I think it'd be funny. Like if we did the whole like office concept at work. Thoughts?
Oh man.
I mean,
That'd be interesting.
No work would ever get done.
yeah.
Well, no, I mean like it would be like
Just
work, like
Okay.
like how in the office they're all working, but then it's kind of like we're talking
Well,
or
one
whatever.
changes.
It's
When
funny.
will
the
we have
exchanges.
time to do the interviews though?
During our breaks?
I mean,
What if I want to enjoy my break though?
Then tell them no. Go to somebody else.
and then they would just like zoom out from
no, but
you.
see,
and
like
go
on
and zoom
like
in
on The
somebody
Office,
else.
part of it too was that they took like a lot of trips outside. And
Did
we
they?
don't take
I
trips
didn't watch everything. I've only seen episodes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but yeah.
The one episode at the fair that would have been or I'm sorry, that could have been an episode the day we went to the fair.
That
Oh,
is a
that's
good point.
true.
That is a good
I
point.
think I've seen that.
We lived it.
We did live it. I will actually. That is one of the questions. Kind of what I wanted to talk about. One of my friends, and she's also a classmate, Julie. Shout out to Julie. She is a psych major. She's also the president of the psychology club here on campus. Psych. Go check them out, y'all, if you're Aztec. She was asking me the other day, kind of like, what's the dynamic at work? Because obviously I'm like a part of 3 different organizations. I have my military life, my civilian life, working at Barnes, and then I obviously have my life here at KCR, which is great, by the way. I love you guys. I guess she was like basically asking like, how's do each dynamics different? Like, how's your coworker life? How's your and so I was telling her like in my military life, even though there is a hierarchy in terms of like lowest ranking to highest ranking, and there's like a chain you have to go through, kind of like how we have management. I'd say that's a lot more intimate than it is kind of like at Barnes between the employee to the employer level.
Well, you also there's a lot deeper of a connection.
Yeah,
though.
and that's definitely true. And I think so my question is kind of I guess kind of at any workplace, what is the best way in your guys' opinion that kind of makes that a little bit more intimate? Because in the military, that's just, it's going to be that way regardless.
Kind of forced. In a
You're
way.
forced to. Yeah. That is the lifestyle. But in terms of like a workplace, what do you guys think? And this could either apply to our job, it can apply to other jobs we've had in the past. What would kind of make our workplace a stronger workplace in terms of if you want to just speak on a coworker level, you can, or a coworker to employee or employee to employer. What do you guys think?
I mean,
personally, I think what we're doing right now, not just right now, but like at work we've been like a little bit more involved with like games with each other and getting to know each other and like decorating the break room, small things like that. I think it makes a big difference.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, for one, you gotta have the right people for it, right?
True.
And then we're lucky enough that we have someone at work that took initiative to
Shout
do all
out to
that.
Kirsten.
Exactly,
We love you.
Kirsten. But I mean,
Storm Mom.
and I may be in the minority in this one, but I think you just gotta like let it happen. You can't really force like a connection with someone. I mean, for myself, right? It takes me a little time before I get comfortable with someone.
I got comfortable bullying you real quick.
But to kind of answer the question, like, what are some things you can do? I mean, yeah, like doing some like some team building activities. That's a good one. I know for us, before we actually open the doors, we always have like a huddle, where we kind of review some of the goals.
Oh, meetings. I was like,
Yeah.
I pictured a literal huddle. I'm like, when did we do
go.
that? Go team.
Go Eagles. No, yeah, we do. Yeah, we do some 15-minute team meeting. We go with some of the goals, blah blah. We also do like a little bit of activities just to kind of break the ice a little bit. So that could work. And again, as far as what activity to do, that really depends on like the work environment. But yeah, just things like that really. Also, if you can get a beer, that's always a good one.
I mean, it helps that Buffalo Wild Wings is right
Yeah,
across
in
the
our
road.
literally,
case,
right.
in our case, it helps
Hey.
it helps venting out everything after closing when you
Oh,
just
yeah.
go over a nice beer. So, if that is available to you, and if you are of legal age, go ahead and do that. As well.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Arlene, Isaiah.
I'm trying to hold back my hysterical laugh right now.
Why?
Because the fact that he had to say, make sure you're of age.
I mean,
I know. I myself was a child at once. I didn't make any bad decisions
okay, I
like
was gonna
that,
say.
of course.
Yeah,
What are you trying to say?
because obviously no one drinks below underage. You don't want to make that.
most
Yeah,
definitely
Yeah, who
not.
would
Yeah.
ever?
exactly.
Digressing back to the question though, I do agree with Andres in saying the fact that you can't really force it. It does have to get
Mm-hmm.
natural, and I also agree with the fact that you have to have somebody that wants to initiate that comfortableness between the employees and the management. Employees and management, but the latter is extremely hard. Like no matter what, I guess it's just the sheer title of manager.
Yeah, and also technically speaking, at our work, they have set boundaries as far as what you can do and what you
That's
can't
fair.
do with certain employees.
Yeah.
So it's not as if we don't get along with them or just we don't mesh well.
Mhm.
It's just they
There is
literally
that
cannot
Yeah.
go and say, "Hey, Andres, grab a beer," right? My manager can't say that.
Yeah.
because they have
Well, I mean, in a professional sense, but also just kind of making a workplace a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah, I understand boundaries,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I mean, obviously, especially in retail where you want to have the sense of authority.
Mm.
You don't want to get too comfortable with your employees because then they might not take you as seriously. You know what I
that's
mean?
fair.
So I think that's why they set the boundaries in the first place because they want to say, hey, you guys can be close and all, but you guys can't be too.
I guess, yeah. I guess I
yeah.
don't really particularly understand that because for me, I can see the line, but
Yeah.
it doesn't matter because I'm going to treat that
I
person
mean, in the
who's
case
above
where,
me.
in the case where there needs to be some discipline involved or any other form of formal talking,
Mm.
you want to have that sense of authority where it's okay, whatever they say, it's serious and
It
I
goes,
can't. Yeah,
yeah.
it
Yeah.
goes exactly.
Mhm.
Because let's say I try to put my authority on you, Tisha.
Oh, it's not going to happen.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
It's going to be the other way around.
but
And you're
one
going to
of
learn
our-
real quick.
I would either confirm nor deny that.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
no, but let's say
okay.
it's one of our managers, right? If they say, "Hey Tisha, can you do X, Y?"
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really can't go back against them.
Yeah.
You
That's
can't
fair.
go against their word.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
I had that happen to me a couple of times though on my food truck. Well, imagine me 17 and then this lady who's 45.
Trying to tell you how to do your job.
No. Me telling her oh, you're not doing it the right way. That was and not only the actual age difference, but the fact that with my personality, I couldn't help myself but get comfortable.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where she's just well, I'm cutting the onions, and it's
You're like,
hacen this.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta cut them this way.
Yeah.
But it creates if you don't maintain that boundary, it can easily be overstepped,
Mhm.
and then it creates an unhappy workplace or a non.
That's fair.
workplace.
That's fair.
So because I'm on the edge about the whole
Mhm.
I can't hang out with you because of this reason.
I
Yeah.
understand that one. But really quick, Arlene, because we're going to run out. We're going to run out of time.
You guys have basically said everything. I
Oh,
have nothing
really?
else to add. I'll slide away
You're like,
from the
yes.
mic now.
Okay, I'll turn off real quick. Yeah, I guess I definitely see what you guys say, and I totally understand. I think for me, it's a bit different because outside of Barnes and my other job, it's not like that. I mean, regardless. I mean, I think it's also because we physically will see the authority that's stitched onto our uniform. And you adhere by that, so naturally, it's not literally, not anymore, but it's beaten into us that if somebody is higher ranking than you, you give them the respect no matter what. So, and you can be homies, you can get a beer, you can do whatever, but as long as that respect, I think that's just in that part of my life, it's easy for us to see that, or it should be easy, for us to see the line and still be comfortable doing certain things. But obviously in civilian life, that's a completely different thing. So, but we have 5 minutes left, and I guess I will. See, I don't want to.
I already know where this is going.
Dude, Andres is ready, dude. He's ready.
Well,
Let it rip.
dang it.
It has been a long time coming, guys.
Okay,
I
well,
wanna say that.
Might
see,
as well
if
do
we
it.
go on a tangent, it's gonna be forever for me to get off. So really quick,
I'll make it snappy. I'll make it snappy.
whatever.
No, you won't.
Really quick before we get into the last question of the night that has nothing to do with the topic that we're gonna talk about, and I'm gonna reluctantly bring it up. Before we get to that, we have one other unrelated question from TK at from the Slack. It says he's asking pancakes, waffles, or French toast. Quick, fire.
French toast.
Bruh, French
Waffle.
toast.
French toast.
French
French
toast.
toast. French
bruh.
toast.
Waffle.
Waffle. I'm a pancake girl, dude.
French toast.
Pancakes get too soppy, bruh.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, don't let them sit.
oh, that's true. You're right,
Okay.
you're right.
And our final question of the night.
Woohoo.
This is Josh's. Josh at Abang Pinoy. He has a podcast in Australia with a bunch of our other Aussie friends from the Slack, and their podcast is a Great Mates podcast. Shout out to them, and also plug for them. Definitely check them out. They're great. They're amazing. At one point, there will be a crossover episode between, so I'm gonna have some Aussies on air, guys.
That's
Let's hope.
legit.
Hey,
That
Josh,
is
I'm calling you
legit.
out. We're gonna do this. But anyways, they had asked a question similar to it, and they said Zac Efron. Too wide? And then the question was not enough in my opinion, or yep, that boy is too thick. And so this is a logical extension to the Ryan Gosling question.
Wait, what's the question?
Too wide?
And what exactly
mean?
are we talking about here?
Yeah.
He
like-
thick or not?
Huh?
Never mind. Never mind.
No, he's not. He's not. thick.
He's well
He's like,
proportioned.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I guess
he doesn't
so.
have like an hourglass curve. No, he's a proportionate human being.
Did you study his body to the degree that you are speaking of, or you know what? Don't answer that.
I plead the
I don't
fifth on that
wanna
one. I plead the fifth on that one.
I'm glad you did. I
plead
don't
the
want it. He also said he argues why not both when we were talking about it in the beginning, but he says also, although as a point of clarification, as an actor, not a singer. Thanks, Josh. I appreciate you. Also, that was me.
Wait, is that going back to Ryan Gosling?
Yes,
I mean, he has an Oscar, right?
an undeserved
I mean, there you
Oscar.
go, there you go.
An undeserved Oscar.
See, but when you go on Wikipedia and you look up like Ryan Gosling or like
undeserved
2017
Oscar.
Oscars, you're gonna see.
Lin-Manuel
You're gonna see
Miranda
who won.
created Hamilton. He did the music for Moana.
Yeah, and Ryan Gosling won.
I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about work here.
I said this was a completely unrelated.
Like I said, guys, I will defend my man to like the end of time, really.
Tweet at me. Doesn't dress to
All right,
deserve
yeah,
to meet
like
Ryan
again,
Gosling.
it was a little unfair, like us hijacking this when it was like work
It was
related.
completely hijacked.
But again, Tisha, set up another like day, and I will gladly
want
come
to.
along. No,
I don't want
no, because I can go on and on about this.
For an entire hour?
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
No.
I would like to be here to witness this.
yes.
We'll just be sitting on the
We will
sideline.
probably have a part
Guys,
two
tweet
with more.
at Tisha, tweet at the show. Do you want me to come back and discuss this at length?
Have an entire episode dedicated to Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
That is just giving you power in my show. No.
Be careful what you wish for, Tisha.
I don't
At
like
this
it.
Be
point,
careful what you wish for.
I think he deserves it after all the bullying.
Thank you,
Oh, we're gonna remember this. Trust.
Isaiah.
But we're wrapping it up for the night. We have a few minutes left, or a few seconds left. But basically, guys, thank you for coming on air with me. I want to thank
for having us.
Arlene and
Yes, thank you for
Ben and
having
Andres. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, Friday nights at 8, I will be here if you guys want to tune in at kcrlive.com, AM 1610 for those of you who live on campus or in the San Diego County, or the TuneIn app on your iOS or Android devices. Just look up the TuneIn app, download it, and look up KCR College Radio. And then follow me at all social medias at KCR Tishtalk. Tweet at me all the questions that we did. I will put up my YouTube episodes that I haven't done and I will be editing. I'll put them up soon, I promise. And I expect these guys to be back on air sometime soon. Maybe.
Most
Maybe.
definitely.
And maybe we'll talk about Ryan Gosling.
I want to be here for that.
Have a good night, guys.